Hello, 25 Whistles, presented by DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Download the DraftKings app and use the code BobbySports to get in on the action. Wearing his podcast glove, still rocking his Cowboys hat, blowing that whistle. Here's producer Eddie. Go ahead. Oh, that's how I feel too, buddy.
Dude, it's terrible.
It's terrible. Who has it worse? Me or Eddie or fans of the Miami Hurricanes?
Hurricanes. Oh, man. Hurricanes.
Maybe.
I mean, it's not good. It's not good either way. I mean, I think they're all the same for different reasons.
Listen, I'll go first. We lost again. I was on stage. We were playing. I was trying not to watch the game because I want to focus on being on stage. And I walked off during a little video montage, and we were up by 7 in the fourth quarter, or close to fourth quarter. I was like, oh, we're going to win this freaking game. Only watched the first half before I got to go on stage. And we lost again. Arkansas lost again. I hate it, and it sucks. And we're, 2-4?
3?
No.
Yeah, it's 2-4.
Yeah, 2-4.
I don't want to say it.
It is. It sucks. And
I was trying to be helpful.
No, it sucks. So anyway, I'm moving on. I did make a lot of money on that game, though, because Arkansas covered. I knew they would cover. It was my guarantee, so I keep my money.
Yep.
I made good. But it sucks, and it's kind of spoiled this whole football season for me. Now, Eddie, you guys lost bad. It was really bad.
Really bad.
Really bad.
Cowboys lost bad, and I lost a lot of money on the Cowboys.
So did I.
Because I kept betting more to go like, oh, for sure they're going to cover now. 14, I'll bet more. They're going to cover, for sure. But it was embarrassing for you guys.
It's to the point where, like, I no longer think we could win the Super Bowl. Overnight, I said, with this team, the way we played last night and the way we lost to the Cardinals, I just don't think there's a chance.
The Cardinals, though, wasn't fair. You were missing at least 2 linemen.
I know, and we're still getting hurt. We lost 5 people yesterday, too. I mean, it's just... At this pace, we can no longer win the Super Bowl in my mind. We can make it to the playoffs and probably get beat by San Francisco again.
Maybe, though, if you go in as the 2, you don't play them till the NFC Championship.
Yeah. Right? And hopefully somebody else can take them out.
Yeah, or anything's possible.
Eddie has been so moany and pissy this morning because of his Cowboys.
Well, dude, it's the first time I've turned off a Cowboys game. I've never
turned it off.
I've never done
sucks.
that.
That sucks.
But I couldn't watch the last 8 minutes of the game. I'm like, I'm done.
I'm considering not going to an Arkansas game now later in the year that I was planning on going to, just because I don't want to go be sad. So
you got to look after your heart. Protect your heart.
I know.
Ugh.
So being an Arkansas fan sucks. Being a Cowboys fan sucks right now. Although you guys are still winning, and I still believe the Cowboys can do it. Being a Patriots fan sucks.
It's awful.
Dude, you guys
right
got ran again.
We were very, very, very bad. Very bad.
I mean, we had a pretty miserable weekend, let's be honest.
All of us.
And then Mike D's Texas Longhorns.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it was awful.
Dang.
Hey, I don't want to make it worse.
This is a sad freaking show. What?
I beat him in fantasy, too.
I lost everything this weekend. Everything was lost.
I scored the second highest point total in the league. I scored 160 points and lost. The guy who scored 180. Number 1 and number 2 score. It was not a good week. It's not good. So
are we done? Can we go home now?
Well, we know what we can do. We can do the tittle tattle. Okay. All right, here we go.
It's time for the stupidest name ever. It's the tittle tattle with kickoff Kevin.
With one of the best offenses in college football, do you think it's USC's defense that'll hinder them from making the college football playoff?
USC's defense sucks, so I think we already know they suck. So it's going to be their offense. If their offense can't produce every single week at a high level, they're not going to win. Their defense can't stop anybody. They know that. So, yes, but no. They have to rely on their offense. So, yeah, they're giving up 30, 40 points a game. They're going to have to because all the teams they're playing, I think 5 of their next 6 opponents are ranked, and you're just playing a numbers game with teams that have skills. So, defense travels well. Sometimes offense doesn't. Basketball and football, they just better be on offensively. And I think if they're not able, because their defense is just going to not be good. It's just not going to be good. I think a good game is their defense being below average. That's a good game for them.
Below average.
Just below average. Their offense can be great at times, but you better make sure it's great every week because we're looking at Notre Dame, Utah, Cal.
Washington still, Oregon.
Yeah, and their defense gives up almost 30 points a game.
Yikes.
So we already know the defense sucks, so you can't be mad at something you already know. You can't get mad at your husband You wake up one morning and he's 5'3". He's 5'3" when you married him. Why
You
you mad
knew
at
that.
him?
You
Why
knew
you mad
that.
at him at 5'3" now?
You can't get better though. Like I get it. It's got to be frustrating when your defense sucks, but you can't like get better in 3 weeks, 4 weeks, improve certain things.
Sure, you can get better at all kinds of stuff, but so are the offenses that you're playing against.
Ah, good point.
Probably at the same rate or faster. And then also, you can only get so good if you do not have the actual talent or skills or coaching. And it just seems so weird that Lincoln Riley cannot get a defense. It doesn't matter where he is.
Yeah.
I was talking to my father-in-law, who is a massive Oklahoma fan and loved Lincoln Riley at Oklahoma, is hurt by him leaving. And I was like, what's the deal? Like, if I were Lincoln Riley, I would go, obviously, I suck at defense, so I'm going to get somebody that I trust to do it, and I'm just stepping away from the defense, and you run it, because I've done it wrong for so many years, and it's kept me from national championships, that if we keep doing stuff the same way, it's always going to have the same result. So it's happening again at USC. So why can't he not just find a defensive expert that's not been with them forever,
Yeah.
which is the case, and go, the defense is now yours. I'll check in occasionally, but it's yours. And let's see if something different happens. And I understand there's recruiting as well, and where you want to put the emphasis on recruiting. But if you don't change, nothing changes. And you know what I see happening? Nothing changing. Where they'll have a great season, they'll lose 2 games, 1 or 2 games, and miss the national championship. Or if they get in the Final Four, they'll lose the first one.
Yeah.
Because once they play one of these teams who can stop their offense from running all over them, one of these speed-based teams, like even an Oregon's going to be tough for them. But you go play Georgia. Heck, you go play Alabama. And USC might win, but it's a whole different ballgame when you're playing with just players generally who are bigger and faster and stronger.
Yeah, even the physicality of like Utah always gives them a tough battle, and then you mix in the athleticism of a Georgia, that'd be rough.
Utah needs a quarterback.
Yes.
And if they had a quarterback, it'd be trouble. If they don't have Camp, then they're not going to win the game. But I do think that USC probably loses 2 games. And they're awesome offensively. Caleb Williams is awesome. So I'm going to blame it on their offense, though, because we already know the defense sucks.
Right.
Yes. Next
So what did
question.
hold on? What did your father-in-law say about that whole theory?
I just kind of laid it out to him, and he's like, that's a good point.
Then you moved on.
Yeah, I moved on. Yeah, I didn't really need any analysis back. He was like, I don't know, man. He's like, that was always our deal. We couldn't put up a defense.
Yeah.
All right, what else?
Which one-loss team do you still think has the best chance to make the playoff? Alabama or Texas?
I think it's Alabama because they can still pretty much play their way into it. I mean, Texas can too, but Alabama for sure can. If you win the SEC and you have 1 loss, you're in.
Yeah.
If you win the Big 12 and you have 1 loss, you're probably in, but we'll see. And if there's a 1-loss Big 12 team and there's a 1-loss SEC team, they're going with a 1-loss SEC team. So just based on that, Alabama has a better shot. And again, they look pretty good this last week. The quarterback was finally chunking. Before the game, they were like, oh, if he doesn't, all they got to do is stop the run. He threw for 300 yards. A&M's got a really salty defense, too. Yeah. So I think Alabama, but Alabama's next 3 games are against Arkansas, Tennessee, and LSU. Now, those are all 3 games they have to show up for.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be tough.
And it's going, yes. And so Arkansas is in Tuscaloosa. Makes me sick to my stomach.
Come on, man.
That's going to be
Push
rough,
through it.
man.
You can do this.
It's going to be rough.
Yeah.
Tennessee in Tuscaloosa, that should be a pretty good game.
Mm-hmm.
And then LSU, even though LSU doesn't have defense, again, they're going to push them. So I could see Alabama possibly losing one of those, but I think they're probably going to be big favorites in all 3. Texas next 3 games. At Houston, they'll kill them. At BYU, BYU's in Austin. They should whoop them pretty good. But the Kansas State-Texas game looks to be a pretty solid game. I'm going to say this. I watched Kansas State, and I hate they lost to Oklahoma State this last week. I love their coach. I love how he coaches.
Yeah.
It's freaking 4th and 4 on like the minus 26, and he's like, well, we got to go for it. Let's go. And he goes because he also trusts their defense to hold them to a field goal because they're on. I would love playing for that dude.
Mm-hmm. And Cooper?
Yeah, Cooper Beebe was awesome.
Yeah.
And they're our latest episode of Too Much Access, but like that Kansas State coach, aggressive, offensive-minded, trust the defense to hold them to a field goal, and they ended up losing the game, and that sucked. But I did like watching that game and how they play. Somebody said to me too, hey, looks like the Too Much Access curse is still happening. We choose what episode to put out.
Excuse me?
Yeah,
We
what?
could have easily put out the Western Kentucky episode. They won.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like we put it out and then they lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People are saying we're putting like the Madden
No,
curse.
one person
Oh,
because
okay, okay.
he's
One
upset.
person. Okay.
Remember? Yeah.
He's upset. And
Oh.
it wasn't even somebody listening to the show. It was just like some Kansas State fan who's upset they lost.
K-State 95 guy.
Yeah. We can do whatever. We could have put up UNLV, and they had a bye week.
Yeah.
We could have put up Western Kentucky. I guess we could have waited on UNLV. We could have put up Cincinnati, but we put up Kansas State because it was a really good episode.
That's right.
Yeah. Back off.
Now, if we start putting everything out and they start losing the week after over, like everybody,
trouble.
That's trouble.
That's the Madden cover
That's
curse.
the yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
If Joey Harrington ends up being on our show, that's bad news. If Dante Culpepper ends up being on our show, if Peyton Hillis ends up being on our show,
Yeah.
So, but that's what's up. I really like Kansas State. I think Kansas State could actually play Texas pretty strong. All right, next question.
After another weekend full of injuries around the NFL, what do you think is more likely to happen next offseason? Turf fields change the grass or the brotherly love shove rule changed?
The turf to grass mostly.
Really?
The brotherly shove is pretty fair.
It is fair.
And
There's a lot of teams not making it.
Everybody can do it. Everybody can try to do it. And some teams, I think I saw that the Eagles were like 91%
Yeah.
in it. And I think that other teams are like 83%. That number's off a little bit. So it's a most, but also if you quarterback sneak for 1 yard, most of the time you're going to get it.
Hey, man, the Eagles did it like a yard and a half.
Yeah, they're
the
doing
other
like
day.
2 and 3
Maybe
yards.
2
it's
yards.
crazy. I know.
Wild.
It's crazy.
Hey, the Cowboys did it too. I mean, it was a terrible game, but we did the shove.
Yeah. Well, now everybody's got to learn how to do the shove.
Right. I think the key, I dissected it a little bit. I think the key is just to stay low. For those front guys to stay low, and I think if you do that, you can't beat it.
What if you just like Troy Polamalu and just jumped over?
I just think the
Like
momentum
If you time it and you jump and then you wrap your arms around their waist as you're jumping over them,
and then pull them back.
and you pull them back because it's hard to stop.
It is.
I mean, can you like boost? Can you throw people over?
It's a full steam train coming through,
I know,
and it's
but-
coming
and they
low.
know the count, and they know the count.
That's right.
That is the factor. If everybody knew it was going to go 1, 2, 3, go, it would be different.
It's pretty amazing, man.
It is.
And Jalen can, squat a,
Yeah.
Yeah, truck.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that also
600
helps.
pounds.
Yeah.
I don't think the brotherly shove gets changed this year.
Brotherly shove.
You like tush push or brotherly shove more?
Brotherly shove.
Because it's Philadelphia.
I know, I get it. It's
Yeah.
cool. It's
the
a great
city
name.
of brotherly shove.
Well, like if the Cowboys do it, do you call it the tush push or what do you
No,
call it?
I would
no.
call it the. If the Cowboys are doing it, I'd probably just call it the tush push.
Yeah.
Or the quarterback sneak with friends.
Okay. Let's think
The
about
Dak.
that.
The Dak.
The Dak attack.
The Dak. There
Oh
you
God,
go.
you
The
don't, you
Dak
don't want the Dak
attack.
attack.
Don't get the Dak attack.
But Justin Jefferson's hurt. Kelsey's hurt.
Oh yeah.
A Chain's now hurt. I think the turf to grass though, that is an advantage or disadvantage that you can't control. Even if it's injuries, you can change your grass field out. It's harder to go up and down with grass, obviously, than it is turf. Turf you can pick up quickly and change your stadium to be Disney on Ice.
Whatever.
Whatever you want.
Taylor Swift concert.
Exactly. So I do think that's probably the turf. Turf's bad news, it seems like. Yeah. I don't know. I've messed around on it, and I didn't get hurt.
And then all the guys look like idiots with all the little black
Yeah,
pebbles all over their face.
White pebbles, yeah. All right, what else?
Last one here, getting outscored 72-3 in the last 2 games. Do you think Belichick's seat is officially starting to heat up?
I think he's probably like, I don't want to be here anymore.
Yeah.
More than they're going, hey, you don't need to be here. I think he's going, I don't know about this anymore. And a lot of it's on him, too. Let's not act like it's not. And you're a diehard Patriots fan.
Mm-hmm.
And I admire you still wearing your Patriots hat.
Mm-hmm.
I wore some Arkansas shorts to therapy yesterday. My therapist was like, brave. I'm like, shut up.
Like I'm at therapy for a reason.
Yes, that's right. So I could see Belichick not leaving after this year, but next year if it's.
I saw that he applied at a few jobs at Duncan. I don't know if
Nice.
that was real or not, but I saw some
I probably
applications.
wasn't. Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it also does it tarnish his legacy a little bit because now we have a bigger palette on where he's been able to perform without Brady.
Yeah, the sample size is much bigger now than it was 2-3 years ago, where you're starting to think, I don't know.
So
Maybe
Brady
it was
left and
more
could
Brady.
do it, but Brady couldn't leave and Belichick can't do it and gets worse.
Yeah, it's getting worse by the game.
Well, how do you feel about it?
It's definitely starting to heat up. I honestly could see him leaving after the season. It's just that roster is so bad, but that's also on him because he's a GM, of course. And I could see him just being like, you know what? I do not want to rebuild here. Maybe go somewhere else after this year. And Kraft is just, I think Kraft will be over it soon.
He's old, though. You want to go somewhere else?
Go to like a good roster. Like say that Staley gets fired at the Chargers.
I guess he's just so old, it's hard to start over.
No.
That's true. Hey, I mean, he does have his son with him. I mean,
That might be part of the reason he's sucking too. That he puts his sons in his old
Yeah.
D coordinators.
I've always thought that when like coaches put their sons in, like Buddy Boeheim or whatever, like all that's kind of weird to me.
So
Shanahan worked out.
how many years do you think Belichick has? Go.
I'll say right now at the end of this year.
Woo.
Yeah. I don't even know. It won't be like a
Do you
firing.
want him to go?
Ooh, good question.
Greatest coach of all time. Do you want to fire your greatest coach
I
of
don't
all
want to
time?
End of an
fire
era.
him.
End of an era.
I never want to fire him, but at the same time, like I'm watching San Francisco and all these offenses,
I
Miami,
asked you a question.
and this and that.
That's
Do
those
you
are
want
unicorns.
him to go?
I never want him to go, but
Do you want him to go?
I think it's a change of tides is coming. Yes, I want a change of tides. Yes.
Next 3 games, Raiders. They could win that, but the Raiders did win last night,
Yeah,
and they didn't look great, but they look good enough to beat the Patriots.
that was a sloppy game.
The Bills, they'll lose that. The Dolphins, they'll lose that.
Yeah, we're done. Tank for Caleb. I'm all in on the train. Tank train.
Mac Jones, done.
Done.
Is he done?
Done. It's not all him, but he just doesn't have it.
You know, when his camp's not going, oh, he didn't have any weapons.
I know.
Like you're hearing little beep, 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 beep from his group.
You know what Brady did for years with a bunch of guys that nobody knew? Come on.
Yeah, I hear you.
He
And
made 'em stars.
And he did, well, hold on. He did have tools at times. Gronk
Yeah.
was a tool. I would say that Randy Moss was about as freaking tool as you can get.
Yeah.
It's awesome. So he did. But yes, at times too, he did not have.
Yeah, Chris Hogan.
You don't have to go to the bad.
Hey, he's a lacrosse
He's trying
player.
to prove a point.
Because I think Edelman,
Oh, stud.
yeah.
Yeah.
So regardless, I feel bad for you. And you should feel bad for me because it sucks for both
We
of
can
us.
feel bad for each other.
Yes. All right. That's the tittle tattle.
The stupidest name ever. It's the tittle tattle with kickoff Kevin.
All right, tittle tattle. Thank you, Kevin. 25 Whistles presented by DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Download the DraftKings app and use the code BobbySports to get in on the action. We went 3 for 4 in the old parlay, but you missed one. It's over. I did hit a 9-game parlay, though.
9.
Yeah,
I
he
hit
did.
a 9er, yeah.
You pulled an Eddie, but you actually hit it?
I did hit it.
Nice.
He didn't miss it by one, like I've done 2 weeks in a row.
But nobody cares if they're betting with. But you can follow me on the DraftKings app. It's like Bobby and the Whistlers.
Yeah, it's like a social one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can see all my bets, and I'll go over the bets in a second. But here we go. Georgia hit. Alabama money line hit. Arkansas plus 11.5 hit. The Washington State UCLA game. And I thought, even at the end, I thought Washington State was going to do it because they ended up losing by 8 points, 25-17. I thought they were going to score a touchdown at the end and cover, and they did not. And it was sad. And I'm sorry. That's all I can say. But I'm not that sorry because they had a 9-gamer and I had a decent weekend.
You're good.
But the Arkansas loss, I'd give it all up for the Arkansas loss to have that as a win. I give it all up.
All your money? Smiles?
Yeah, all of it. If you want to take the 25 Whistles parlay, you can check out DraftKings Sportsbook. I don't have the new one for next week right now because I'm still in mourning.
Take your time.
Thank
Yeah.
you. New users use the code BobbySports when you download the app. 21 and up in most eligible states, but age varies by jurisdiction. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. You know, I was watching clips of the Vikings and Chiefs and how on TikTok everybody thinks the Vikings got cheated. Have you seen many of the millions of TikToks about how the Vikings got cheated?
Twitter, but yeah.
Okay. Do you feel like the Vikings got cheated?
Cheated. There's no pass interference, but the helmet was a little skeptical.
Taking his helmet off?
Yes.
When the ref's like, put your helmet on, you're going to get a flag.
And I was watching the game, and out loud, I was like, wait, his helmet's off. Aren't you not allowed to do that? And then they started talking about it, and now it's everywhere.
He did pull his helmet off, and you do see the ref go, put your helmet on, I'm going to throw a flag on you.
Yeah.
Now, I can understand a ref near the end of a game not wanting to throw a flag that's going to change the end of the game and just going like, hey, it's like if 2 people are fighting on the field. If you guys don't stop, I have to throw a flag, so then they stop fighting. Like, I get it, but it's so borderline, and so are some of the other things, the pass interference. There were like 3 things all at once that happened.
There was like a hand to the face by a defensive
and
lineman.
I saw that too, but they miss those every play. You know, every play somebody's going hands to the face or holding the ref's not seeing. You only get so many refs. But I feel like where there's money, there's corruption. I'm not saying there's corruption, but if you don't think at some point a ref's going to like know that the Chiefs should probably win because they're the story. They're the story because of Mahomes, but really they're the story because Taylor Swift.
Who wasn't there, by the way?
Right.
And Kelsey almost went down.
He did.
Well,
he
he
left
did,
for a
but-
bit with a foot
yeah.
injury and came back, but he has a high ankle sprain now.
Yes.
That's what they're saying.
Yes.
So, but yeah, that was tough if you're a Vikings fan to see all of that, but also stop being a sore loser.
Yeah, the Chiefs are now getting that, and I'm not saying this as a Patriots fan, just saying
Michael
that
Jordan
Patriots treatment, right? Where,
Oh, I call it Michael Jordan treatment. It's funny you call it Patriots treatment.
Yeah,
you
where
loser.
things just go your way, and then everyone looks for a way to like pounce on you. Oh, you got cheated here.
I thought you meant in a good way.
No, well, it's good because
get
that
the
means you're
calls.
winning and you're relevant. Yes, it's
Yeah, you
good
get the
as a
calls.
Patriots fan or a Bulls fan.
Got it.
But if your team's playing them, or if you don't want them to win, then it sucks.
It sucked for Miami, which we mentioned earlier. All they had to do was knee the ball. And so then let's go, okay, they didn't knee it. They run the ball up the middle. Then all they got to do is hold on to the ball. And then let's say they didn't hold on to the ball. Then all you got to do is recover the ball. Okay, cool. Didn't do that either. Then all you got to do is stop them for one play. And they didn't do that either.
What was the reasoning? I saw a clip where the coach was talking about why he did it, but it didn't make sense to me. Why they ran the play?
It was Cristobal, and it was a press conference. The camera was like below him. Is that what you saw too? And he started talking some nonsense too, and I just flipped it off TikTok.
That's it. That's the same one.
Yeah, he was like, the momentum of the
Exactly.
I was like,
and I'm like, I don't get any of this.
Did you see he did that in 18 too? 2018 with Oregon against Stanford.
I do that on Madden, but I need extra yards for my running back.
There you go. You're Pat Staten.
That's not real,
Yeah.
Lost a bunch of money on Dallas last night.
You mentioned that. You mentioned that.
I made some notes. Do you want to go? Let's do my betting for the week. If you want to hear some stats here, I try to keep it open and honest with you guys. Last week I didn't have a great week. I went to the negatives for the first time, like overall. So here we go. NCAA this last weekend. I made 21 bets NCAA for $2,147. Winnings $3,009 plus $862.
Okay.
Let's go.
It's a good Saturday.
NFL bets wagered $1,800. Winnings $1,729, and that's Cowboys. I was up.
That parlay, I mean, you were looking good with that parlay, huh?
Yeah, and then the Cowboys.
And the Cowboys,
though.
yeah. You go chasing, dude. You try to chase
I
those
wasn't
live bets.
chasing. I just thought that I really thought they could do it. I wasn't chasing for the fact about money. I was chasing because I thought they would cover 14.
I agree.
Weekend summary: I made 39 bets. I wagered $3,900. I made $47.38, plus $791 on the weekend.
Nice.
And season summary so far: total bets 143. I've bet $16,441.
That's crazy, dude.
Stupid.
I'm plus 723.
Wow.
And Kevin goes through my account. I'm not Pat statting or affecting. I give him my phone and just say, hand me the numbers. Would you verify that, Kevin?
Yes.
Yeah.
16,000 to make 700.
Hey, look, I'm happy it's 16,000. That's not super negative. If it were
Yeah.
16,000 to lose 1,000 or so, I'd be like, that's fun. I'm doing it for entertainment anyway. It's fun to do. I'm not trying to do it to pay the bills. But 16,000,
To win 700. That was your investment. Interesting.
it's pretty good though.
Yeah, you're making money.
Yeah.
And having fun doing it. I bet on Alabama to beat Texas A&M.
Mm-hmm.
Bet them, minus 2.5. And did you see the catch where the guy, his knee's down? This is like one of the catches at the end of the game. His knee is down, and the ball hits him in the hands as his knee is down. And if he catches it, the play's over. He's down. But he bobbles it. So when he bobbles it, he lifts his knee up, then catches it, and his knee's off the ground, then he takes off.
For A&M or Alabama?
It's Alabama, I believe.
Okay.
I'm almost positive it's Alabama because I was on stage when it happened, and I went and I do on YouTube TV. You can do show me all the clips because it says you can join live or show me all the big clips, and I watch all the big clips, and I saw the play, and it was unbelievable because Alabama was white, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Yeah, I'm almost positive. Anyway, you should look at that clip because it's unbelievable. The big catch at the end of the game, had he caught it like he was supposed to, his knee would have been down, the play's over. But because he bobbled it, he then had to stand up to catch it, and because he did that, he took off. You can look it up if you haven't seen it, and I'm 98% sure that's what the play was. But I did show me all the plays.
What? Okay, so what is that on YouTube? That's
I have
just,
YouTube TV.
and it shows you all the big plays of the day.
So, no, if you go to a game, it'll say, do you want to join live or do you want to catch up by all the big plays?
Ah, yes, I have seen that. Okay.
It's like the second option
That's pretty
of
cool.
the two.
I don't even look at. I don't think I've ever realized what it actually says. I just always say live.
Join live?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Without even thinking about it.
Well, sometimes I do watch all the big plays because I don't want to look like a complete idiot. What do you see?
I'm pulling it up right now.
Tell me this isn't.
Alabama's wearing white.
Yep.
You were right
Tell
about
me
that.
this
right.
isn't wild. The ball's coming at him.
Yep. He's knee down, but he juggles it right now, and then catches it. Oh.
And he's up.
And he's up, and then he runs.
And he's gone.
Oh, and yeah. And how late? That was with a minute and a half left. Dang.
It's crazy.
It's like he did it on purpose.
But he didn't.
I know.
And you can tell.
Yeah.
It's crazy. That's a crazy play. Dak's interceptions suck.
Which one?
All of them. Three. He had three freaking interceptions.
I think he had 2 were in like a 5-minute span.
God. But that one play he just chunked. First half.
Yeah.
Made me sick.
He was fired up after that first touchdown too.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you throw a touchdown to Turpin, like that's I mean he's what do you call it? You spray and pray? That's what he did on that one.
He's chunking and
he just chunked it and there's double coverage and he caught it. I mean, great, good touchdown. But that's what I'm saying. And what's crazy about it too, like with the Niners, you know, you don't see any receivers downfield. They got the camera on Purdy with the line, whatever.
Purdy's good, by the way.
He's awesome.
I keep thinking Purdy's okay. He's pretty good. Got a great. He has weapons, but he's also good.
He's awesome. He's awesome. And every time he threw the ball, you just knew someone was going to be wide open. And sure enough, every time they made the wide angle and you saw who he was throwing to, they were wide open and they were going to get 20-plus yards or a touchdown. It was just ridiculous.
Like with touch or without touch, or like he was putting passes where they needed to be.
Yeah.
It's scary that he's starting to be good.
Really
now.
good. You guys only had 57 rushing yards too, though.
Yeah,
You guys have to run the ball,
Paul-
not to sound too cliche
mean,
here, but you have to.
Well,
to
heck,
win.
Arkansas versus Ole Miss, we had like 40 yards rushing. It's
That's
terrible.
it?
We can't do that. We have to run the ball.
Yeah, you have to.
I said it from the beginning. I didn't think Pollard was the dude to be our number 1 running back. I mean, he's small. He's fast, but he's small. We don't have a power back like McCaffrey that can get 7 yards every carry.
Deuce?
Deuce is too small. He's smaller than
I'm
Pollard,
kidding.
man.
I know, I'm kidding. I'm sorry. Listen, it sucks for me. It sucks for you. It sucks for you, and it sucks for you. Texas lost to OU in the battle of the games that
Look at Micah.
that I was just like, can they both lose? Can we tie? Can nobody find enjoyment? I have to be an OU fan a little bit, but it'd have been cool if they'd have won and then Arkansas would have won. But after my game, my wife said, but at least OU won. I'm like, I don't give a. What do you mean at least?
It does nothing for me.
It's nothing for me. So is rough. CJ Stroud though, no interceptions.
Yeah,
Yeah.
awesome.
Longest ever. Attempts with no interception as a rookie. So
Now, a lot of those attempts were incomplete passes, but
it doesn't matter.
Right.
Brady was 162. He was second all time, and Dak was 176. And so once he hit 177, CJ Stroud. And the Texans almost won that freaking game.
Yeah, they
versus
should have.
Atlanta.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a cool deal. And then I'll mention our friend Chesson Hadley, who's a golfer.
did he win?
He did not win. He finished 35th
Okay.
and won $38,000 at the PGA tournament.
There we go.
He was like 6th or 7th when I was talking to him this weekend. Every time I talk to him, though, it seems like he falls off. Like, I think I might be. I need to wait till after the tournament.
It's like my
Yeah.
text to you last weekend.
It's terrible. Cost me the game.
you know now not to text
Yeah.
him.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I'm not even bothering him.
Cost me the freaking game. All right, the NFL season is going strong, and DraftKings Sportsbook is hooking up new customers with an offer that's even stronger. Bet $5 on any game this week to score $200 instantly in bonus bets. And DraftKings is not stopping there. All customers can take advantage of a sweetener offer every game day this October. Get in on the game day greatness. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use the code BobbySports. If you do that helps us a lot. We'd love it if you did that. New customers can score $200 instantly in bonus bets when you bet $5 on the NFL. That's the code BobbySports. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort Kansas, licensee partner Golden Nugget Lake Charles, LA, 21 plus, age varies by jurisdiction, void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. See sportsbook.draftkings.com/football terms for eligibility and deposit restrictions, terms, and responsible gaming resources. Coming up, we'll talk to Bumper Poole, who was a free agent after the draft. He signed with the Panthers. He's a free agent again, but you know, when it comes to SEC football, I mean, he was in it last year. So we'll talk about the SEC coming up in a few minutes. A couple NFL notes. Justin Jefferson going to miss the next 4 games with the Vikings.
Yeesh, that's going to hurt.
That sucks. They're having a sucky year.
Yeah, and that just makes it way worse.
God dang. The Vikings receiver Justin Jefferson will miss the next 4 games because of a strained right hamstring that he suffered on Sunday in the loss to the Chiefs. The Vikings plan to place Jefferson on IR, which means he cannot come back in up to 4 weeks. But they have a roster spot they can fill with somebody else, but he's out for 4 weeks.
Now, do you come back if you're him, and they lose 3 out of the next 4?
Yeah.
I mean, you got to play.
Yeah, you do.
He's in a contract year. That's why I asked.
Yeah, I think you do. I think you come back and you play, or at least you try to act like you're trying to play.
Okay.
You'd be like, oh, I'm really trying to get out there. I went through warm-ups. Let me in. Come
Right,
on. You get somebody
right.
recording you going, let me play, man.
Just one video.
Throw in
Come
the helmet.
on, let me play.
They won't let me play.
And you don't ever see who he's talking to. It's just on him. And it turns out there was nobody. And he's like, oh, come on. And then you post that, and then you're like, I'm going to sit out this game too.
Yeah.
So he's obviously going to get paid.
Right.
But I understand it was like last year we were talking about Baltimore and Lamar Jackson. It's like contract year. He's hurt. Does he come back? It's a business more than it is anything else. I know we romanticize sports. We're like, team, it's
Yeah.
our guys.
Winning.
No, it's a business more than it is anything else, period. And if you're that player, you want to make sure that you're the healthiest you can be going in. And he's a guy that it doesn't matter if he had torn his Achilles, he's going to get a Kevin Durant treatment, meaning he's still getting a big fat contract because they know how good he will and can be. So, yeah, that sucks, though, for the Vikings. The Vikings are not in a good place, nor will they be this whole year now.
Nah.
They should just go ahead and get rid of Kirk Cousins, too.
Yep.
Just trade him off, get something for him.
Yep.
A couple teams could use him. But so far, Jefferson's got 36 catches, 571 yards, and 3 touchdowns. And he was a lot of people's first overall pick in the fantasy draft.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
mine.
He was?
Yep.
That sucks. I lost Chubb, my first round pick. Mike lost Jefferson. My 8th or 9th round pick, A-Chain, likely to be out multiple weeks with an injury. But you know what? I'm going to say this. If he's out the rest of the year, I'm okay.
Hey, he did you well.
He came in and freaking won two games basically for me.
That's right.
Same.
So rookie running back Devin A-Chain expected to be out multiple weeks with a knee injury suffered in Sunday's victory over the Giants. The injury is not expected to be season-ending. The Dolphins will continue to be gathering information. A-Chain leads the NFL with 12 yards per carry.
Amazing.
That's insane.
Has over
Amazing.
460 yards and 5 touchdowns in 4 games this year. But what's got him is obviously his health, and that was the whole thing. Like, he's not that big.
Yeah.
A-Chain's not a big guy. He can fly. You know, the Dolphins have like the top 5, 6 sped plays of the year.
Oh, my gosh.
Between
Hill.
Mostert and Hill and A-Chain. And Jalen Waddle's not even on one of the fastest plays of the year, but he's still one of the fastest guys in the NFL.
I mean, those are the 3 fastest players in the NFL.
it's crazy.
And you got them all on one team.
And Tyreek said that they have a practice squad guy that's even faster than all of them.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it, what's the guy's name from Jamaica?
Oh,
Usain Bolt?
Bolt.
Yeah, Bolt.
He's just sitting back
He
there.
just runs go routes to try to test the
I'm ready,
the
coach.
defensive backs. Last night, we watched the Packers and the Raiders. I watched about almost a half of it. It wasn't that good. I mean, I have to kind of pick and choose, and I get to pick 80%. My wife does not bust my balls about football, but I want to make sure that she doesn't feel like I'm watching only football all the time so that she doesn't bust my balls about football.
Smart.
So I want to be proactive, and, you know, if there are games that I don't care as much, I will sacrifice them just to spend time with her, but I have to make sure she knows I'm sacrificing games. And I don't want to be like, I'm sacrificing games, but she'll be like, hey, you have dinner? Yeah, I would love to have dinner, and there's a game on, but I don't even care to watch it tonight. I'd rather just spend time with you. I got to let her know.
Yeah.
Does she say anything to that? Like,
She
you
knows
don't
what-
have to say that.
She knows what I'm doing, yes.
Okay.
And so I only watched like almost half of it, and some of it when I was on the toilet. Because YouTube TV is awesome. It's the greatest.
They have the split screen.
They have the split screen. They have Sunday Ticket now. They have all your local channels. It's the best.
I was watching the Braves and Monday Night Football at the same time. Awesome.
Yes.
Got technology, guys.
Awesome.
pretty
Yeah,
amazing.
I know, but YouTube TV is
Yeah.
it's amazing. So stop being a hater.
But I'm just saying they're going to get there eventually.
no,
you
no,
know what
no.
I mean? Like
because
technology.
But they
like,
also have
hey,
Sunday Ticket.
I mean, the internet was
You
crazy
can
too
have
when it
all
started.
the technology in the world, but if you don't have the right to Sunday Ticket, it sucks balls.
Yeah. Why are
Okay.
you being a hater?
No, I'm just saying, like, you can go to a sports bar and watch the Braves game.
I'm not
and
going.
Monday
I don't
Night
want to go to
Football.
a sports
Yeah.
bar.
I'm sitting on my couch watching the
I'm
same
on the
game
toilet.
on the same TV.
I have IBS.
Okay, for you, that's awesome, dude.
Jordan Love's stat line last night, 16 to 30, 182 yards, and he went full Dak.
So what does that mean?
Three
What does that mean?
interceptions.
Yeah, but Dak's for desperate, dumb interceptions. Jordan was trying to win the game.
All 3 times?
Dak was trying to get out of the game, I think.
So I watched a little bit of that, and I did watch a little bit of the old Chet versus Wemby.
Oh, yeah? Did you watch that?
A little bit, probably like a quarter of it.
Did you buy the pass? The league pass?
I watched it on like TikTok when somebody was showing it on
Ah,
their phone.
God. Yeah, I watched UFC like that the other night.
Yeah, I
That's pretty
hearted
cool.
it, and then when I would go off of it, I would go back to it because I hearted it. You can go to things you liked.
Yeah.
And I watched it on that, and so Wemby stat line last night: 19 minutes, 8 for 13 from the field, 2 for 5 from 3 at 20 points, 5 rebounds, 2 steals, 1 block. Chet also played really well last night.
Yeah.
So it was just the 2 really tall guys. Chet
Pretty
also
awesome.
with the Thunder looks kind of ripped. He's still too skinny.
Yeah, he looks ripped.
But he's probably put on 15 pounds, if I'm
Wow.
guessing. I don't even know that. Somebody can Google how much weight Chet Holmgren put on in the last year, but he didn't play at all because he hurt himself playing in that summer fun league with LeBron.
Fun league.
Yeah.
Good times.
So I think he's put on, if I were guessing, 15 pounds. When you find the answer to that, let me know.
It says he's 207 right now. I don't know what he put on.
Said he was 195.
Okay.
Dang, look at that.
10,
12
12
pounds. Who's got eyeballs for dudes' bodies?
You do,
Me,
man.
baby.
Wow.
Let's go.
See those muscles.
Thank you. They're thinking about putting flag football in the Olympics.
I like it.
Me too.
I think that'd be really cool.
Especially if we can beat other countries. Because when we saw flag football at the Pro Bowl, it kind of sucked. Because nobody was taking it seriously. If you're playing country versus country for a gold medal, it's a bit going to get chippy and rugby-ish, and it's going to be awesome. And we're going to dominate everybody because nobody plays football.
That's right.
It's going to be us in basketball back in the day until everybody got better than us at basketball.
The dream team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when my kids play flag football, like sometimes they just tackle because they're just
Exactly.
they forget that they're playing flag
You
football.
forget.
So that's going to be
Yes.
awesome too.
Who competes? Like who plays? For our country.
Brady comes back and plays.
Because there are professional flag football teams out there.
Oh, no.
And here's the
That's
deal.
the dumbest thing ever.
I know, but
we
NFL
would've-
guys will not want to get hurt.
They're not going to get hurt. It's flag football.
I would
Their contract, no
I
way.
would say you would have, if not NFL guys, you would have ex-NFL guys.
Okay.
Yes, Joe Montana.
No, not old guys.
What do you mean?
You would have guys that are playing in like the USFL or those kind of that were quarterbacks in the NFL for a minute or great college players.
Vince Young?
Again,
Too old? Okay.
I don't
You're
know
getting
if
closer,
Vince has been
though.
keeping himself in shape, but I think it would be super cool. But who plays, right?
Yeah.
Canada.
Yeah. Germany.
Canadian Football League.
Poland.
Germany.
They play American football in Poland.
Yeah, I mean it would be tough. We dominate everybody, but it'd be awesome.
Yeah.
But that would be fun to watch.
Oh, Australia. I bet you they could probably figure it out pretty quick with rugby.
But the great thing is, it would be something for American football to use to grow. Because if it's in the Olympics, you'd have a lot of people seeing it for the first time or being like, oh, we should pay more. I mean, that's the only reason I ever watch soccer. Olympics or World Cup.
The NFL will love it.
Yeah. They're trying to expand their footprint. So that would be cool. There should be 2 American teams, though.
NFC, AFC?
Okay.
East and West.
Not NFL. 2 American teams. Maybe 1 NFL, 1 non-NFL.
Oh.
Of other players, because you're not going to get the best NFL players, so you're going to get some, but you're also going to get those guys I'm talking about that aren't in the league anymore. Or, I just got a bunch of, or it could be like NBA play or other professional athletes that want to go play flag football.
Yeah.
Ooh. Like those guys always say, oh, when I was in high school.
That's true.
A bunch of Uncle Ricos, the American
Yeah.
Uncle Ricos.
Throw it over that.
Super Bowl odds. Here we go. We got new ones here.
Yeah, I bet those changed a lot.
They did. Your number 1 team at plus 350, San Francisco 49ers.
Of course.
Kansas City Chiefs at plus 550.
Oh, really?
Second. Yeah. What'd you think was
Dolphins.
at 4th?
I would put the Dolphins above the Chiefs.
You would?
Yeah.
I wouldn't, just because if I got to pick one of those 2 to win from the AFC, I'm taking the Chiefs now because they've done it before. And 2, well, A-Chain's hurt.
Sure, yeah.
And-
Yeah, I mean, that's going to hurt them, but I think, 3 games? I think
I
they can
just
still...
believe in Mahomes until he makes me not.
Man, Mahomes is walking weird. You guys see it? Like, it just seems like his body's gone through so much that his walk has even changed.
He does everything weird. He talks weird.
Yeah. Yeah. He
a good point.
calls for the huddle weird.
He sounds like a hillbilly. He's like, hey, everybody, get over here.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Okay, so 49ers, Chiefs, Eagles, then Dolphins,
Yeah.
then Bills, then the Lions and Cowboys at plus 1,500.
Lions.
2, 3,
Let's
4, 5, 6.
go.
That's pretty cool.
Do we believe in the Lions? Yes or no?
Yes.
Why do we not believe in the Lions if you had to have a reason not to believe in them?
Because they haven't done it yet.
Yeah, that's pretty much the only
They
reason.
haven't, they weren't even in the playoffs last year.
Even when Goff, like he hasn't done it yet, but he's like the greatest quarterback against the spread in like the last 10 years.
And don't they blame it on, like, the owners, front office? Like,
The owners, yeah, because they don't run an organization very well.
Correct.
But Aiden Hutchinson's awesome. You see that interception he made
Yeah.
from defensive end? Boom, catches the ball with his hand. Awesome. All right, I'm gonna make. Here's what I'm gonna do right now, because we did my betting, and I'm up on the year like $800. In my account right now, I have a couple $1,000. I'm gonna take some, put it back in my checking account. I
Nice.
love doing that, but I'm also gonna put a future in. All the numbers stay the same with what I've won, lost. But if it's sitting in my account, then I know then it's right there to easy.
no, that's when you've really won. When that money's in your wallet, that's when you've won.
Yeah,
Because if you keep it in the account, you haven't won yet.
Yeah.
Still in there to go back.
yeah, I agree. And I got a future on the Cowboys, and I got a future on the Ravens that I've made during the show. I'm gonna make another future bet now Because if I win a bunch, I try to go back in. Just a little bit. I take a little nibble, and it's not investing, but it's like fun investing.
Interesting.
So I'm going to make a future bet with a lot of my winnings from this week, a little bit of it, and then who knows, maybe win.
And you had
another.
Cowboys and who you said already?
Baltimore.
Okay, you can put the Niners in there.
Let me see what the odds are. Or not the odds, but let me see what the money is, though. Let's see here. Okay, let me go to NFL. Boom. Let me go to futures.
God, Niners, Eagles. Who do you
Boom.
take on that?
Niners.
Okay, if San Francisco's plus 350. I may go with, man, the Eagles, though, are solid at plus 800 now.
Oh
I
yeah.
guess.
Oh yeah. That's great.
So if I do the Eagles.
That's to win the whole thing?
Yeah.
Hmm.
So I'm going to do the Eagles at $350 to make $3,150.
Ugh, that'd be amazing.
That's my future now.
Okay.
$350
I'm just going to do a little something with my winnings this week. No big deal.
done, and then I'm going to take $1,000 out of it and put it back in my account.
Nice. And get yourself something nice with that.
No, you know what's nice? Put money back in my account.
That is nice.
That is nice.
Freaking awesome.
That is nice.
I haven't done that in a long time.
So, okay, I feel pretty good about that. We are about to talk to Bumper Pool. Bumper Pool is a 3-time second team all SEC linebacker. He is Arkansas's all-time leading tackler with 441 tackles. His name is legally Bumper Pool. He changed his name from James to Bumper when he was 16 years old, and after he finished at Arkansas, he went as a free agent to the Carolina Panthers, but now he's a free agent again, and so here he is. He was a beast. If anybody knows about the SEC, it is Bumper Pool. Bumper, what's up, buddy?
Nothing much. Just hanging out in Charlotte. How are you doing?
Well, yeah, why Charlotte?
So I'm still here in Charlotte just because I was with the Panthers, and then just kind of want to stay out here just in case something happened. And I got to try out later on the year or got signed later on in the year.
So after the draft, whenever the draft finishes and it's time to pick, because you were a free agent, but you basically were set every tackling record. Like, you know, did you feel a bit like one of the teams was going to pick you up in the draft?
Well, the only problem is I had surgery after the Ole Miss game. So I knew going into it that getting drafted was going to be tough. But obviously in the back of my mind, I was like, I put good tape out there where I thought I had a chance. And I had visited with Charlotte. I actually took a visit out here. But I think their last draft pick was in the 5th round. So with them, I knew it was probably going to be like a free agent situation.
Whenever you got as a free agent, because we came to camp a little bit, our little group did. And what is it like when you're in with adult men? Like, you have 35-year-old men now you're in the locker room with, where it was you were the old guy, you know, and now all of a sudden you're not anymore.
Yeah, I mean, most of these guys are talking about their kids, and that's just like a super, you know, different adjustment. And like these guys, this is, you know, they're either feeding their family or you're feeding yours. So it really gets down to that, like, you know, this is a big business and it's cutthroat, and they mean business. So like the transition obviously was talent wise is one thing, but the maturity level, like you kind of have to step into that role of, hey, I'm with a bunch of, you know, grown men.
So you're in Charlotte still. Are you working out every day or 5-6 days a week, whatever the schedule is, in case you get the call? And do you feel like, because you've talked to people there, that it might be the Carolina Panthers since you already have a relationship with them?
Yeah, so I mean, I'm staying in shape, running every day, just trying to make sure my cardio stays there, because I think that's probably the hardest thing to get back. But I had a workout with the Denver Broncos a couple weeks ago. So really it can be anywhere. I just wanted to stay out here just because I knew, you know, this staff and everyone the best. But it's the NFL and it's, you know, really hard to make a roster. So I'm kind of being realistic with it, but at the same time, just staying ready. What
does your agent say to you? Like, hey, just keep working, this is common, or hey, keep working, we'll see what happens?
My agent is really good about just kind of keeping things real. I mean, he's obviously like, hey, stay ready. Anything can happen. People are going to get hurt throughout the season. But, you know, I'm also someone that is pretty realistic with myself. I gave it my best shot earlier this year. And I'm staying ready if anything happens, but at the same time, making sure that I'm continuing to reach out to people and kind of figure out what my next step is.
Are you thinking like football media? I mean, is that you're a good looking dude. I'm jealous. Like, you got the chiseled chin, you got the, you know, the pedigree, the football, everything that I don't have, you have. So if the playing, or when the playing career finishes, even if it's 10 years from now, is this something you'd like to do?
I would. I think it's something that I've always loved to talk about. And so if I had the opportunity to be able to do media going forward, I would love it. But you know how the industry is. It's hard to get into. So if I just kind of continue to do some stuff here and there, I've been on the SEC network twice this season. And so it's been great that they've been able to give me some opportunities.
Well, then let's talk a little college football. Are you able to keep up with it?
Oh yeah. I mean, Saturday mornings, I'm getting a big sweat in, kind of getting my like game day workout in. And then I'm sitting on the couch watching football the entire day.
Yeah, I get my sweat in by watching football, because I'm sweating so much because I'm just like, oh. So let's start with this. I do want to talk about the SEC, where Georgia wins again, but they win big, and they really haven't played anybody up until Kentucky. And a lot of people were doubting that Georgia could be the team that wins a national championship again. Is Georgia versus everybody else again? Are they back at number one in your eyes?
Yeah, I think they're the most complete college football team. I think Michigan's probably the closest to them. But in the SEC, I think it's Georgia. I think that they're going to run the table in the East, and then they're probably going to meet Alabama in the SEC championship.
What do you think about Alabama? Because, again, same type of situation. Obviously, they lose to Texas earlier this year, but in the SEC West, SEC, they haven't lost any games. They beat Ole Miss, and then they put it to Texas A&M when a lot of people felt like A&M was going to win that game. So how do you feel that Alabama's progress is coming along, especially at the quarterback position?
Yeah, I was kind of with the Aggies there. I thought they were going to take down Alabama, but Alabama came back on the road, had a great performance. I mean, Jalen Milroe had 320 something yards, 3 touchdowns. So he kind of put the "I'm not a passer" conversation to bed, and I think that was the biggest doubt for Alabama. But their defense has always been there, and I think that them taking care of A&M, already played Ole Miss. And the way LSU's defense is played, I think Alabama has a pretty good shot to run the West.
Isn't it weird that LSU's defense sucks? Because I'm used to LSU having a really good defense, like always, regardless. And I understand there's a whole new regime there, but it's weird to see LSU giving up 30, 40, 50 points in a game.
Yeah, it's honestly, I think everyone's surprised. I mean, I think even Brian Kelly might be surprised by that. This is a team that usually, like you said, has the talent from Louisiana, and they're really good on defense. So that's their biggest, biggest problem right now, and that's something that's not going to carry over well trying to get to the SEC championship.
So I've been down Death Valley a couple times, once in the day, once at night, and the nighttime game was really loud. As a player, and you're in these stadiums, and it can be Death Valley, it could be, for some, it'd be the Swamp, it could be War Memorial, small stadium but loud. What is the loudest stadium that you've played in to the point where you're like, holy crap, I don't even know what's going on? But does it really also affect you?
It does affect the team. I mean, I think as a defensive player, it's almost easier when you're playing on the road because it's quiet and your communication's easier. But your offense is having to deal with some hectic, environments. Like Stanford, we played Georgia. College game day was there, and it was at 11 o'clock in the morning, and the place was, nuts. The Death Valley at night is a crazy place to play at. So, I mean, those stadiums, it affects your offense because they can't communicate. They're not making checks. You're getting false starts and whatnot. But as a defensive player, I almost think it's better because everyone hates you, and it's honestly quieter.
I never thought about that, Eddie. With the fact that defense, it is quiet because they want their offense to actually hear the plays.
Yeah.
Like, that would be pretty legit. And I'd be like looking forward to going to the loud stadiums. Do you ever feel like the villain? Like, you have to have the mindset of like you're going in and you're the villain and, all right, let's go screw everybody.
Oh yeah, you kind of put yourself in some headspaces before the game, just trying to kind of get a crazy, I'm a crazy villain mindset. And especially at Death Valley, I always took that game personally because growing up watching the Arkansas LSU rivalry, it was always so big to me.
Yeah, me too. And it almost didn't matter how good the teams were. It was one of those where you kind of didn't know where the game would end up. I mean, I remember when Arkansas beat LSU and McFadden, in the bat, and Houston Nutt, and we didn't have a great year that year, but we beat them and kind of kept them out of it. Like that is a good rivalry. It's like the Texas OU game. Did you watch any of that one?
Oh yeah, that was an incredible rivalry. And I'm from the Dallas area, so I know a whole bunch of guys that went to Texas, and they were just crushed.
So you're watching that game, and Texas was the favorite going in. I think a 6-point favorite. My family's all OU people, which is annoying too. But I'd rather than be OU people than Texas people, if I'm being honest. And so I'm watching, and I'm rooting for OU over Texas. Texas looks great. The game's wild the first half. It's back and forth. It's one crazy play after the next. But Texas looked just consistently good, offense and defense, until the end of the game, obviously. Any chance Texas still wins the Big 12 and makes it to the 14 playoff?
I definitely think they have a shot. The only problem about Texas is you knew they were going to lose one game, and I didn't think it was going to be versus OU. I thought this game was they're going to put all their chips in, they're going to win this one and maybe slip down the road. But it's Texas. They're going to lose another one, in my opinion, and it's going to be tough for them to get in, especially with 4 teams.
Where was the easiest place to play on the road? Where you went and you were like, man, this is kind of easy because they're quiet. They're like super friendly and they're kind of rooting for me.
I mean, Missouri.
That's funny.
Yeah, I felt that too. Because sometimes the hill is empty up there and there's nobody. But yeah, that's a good one. Eddie, you have a question for me?
Yeah. Bumper, are you able to be a fan? Like, especially now, like you go into the NFL, you're looking for teams. Like, can you just openly say, like, I'm a Cowboys fan, but I'll play for the Broncos?
Good question.
Oh yeah, I'm a Cowboys fan at heart, so that's never going to change. But yeah, whenever you're trying to make a team, whatever, you kind of just don't think about it because it's just like I need to try to make the team. It's not necessarily much about how the team does. So like, there's just levels to it. I'm sure if I ever made a team and got to actually play for them for a while, it would change. But as of now, yeah, still a Cowboys fan.
You dealt with some injuries your final season. I mean, you dealt with injuries your whole career, obviously, just playing the position that you played. But you talked about you having to have surgery and it probably affected your draft stock. So the difference between playing hurt and injured, and is it always a fine line too as a player and how much you actually want to let people know so they don't pull you out?
Yeah, I think that especially nowadays, you can either leave your legacy in college or take a chance, not play through an injury and try to make it in the pros. But my thing was I knew what my chances were in the NFL starting out. So like I was going to give everything I had for my college team because if you give a fan base everything you have, like they'll remember it, especially when you're done playing. But I think some of the guys, like the top talents that know they're going in the first round, it makes sense if they get hurt to not play through it. But for guys that are just grinders, like go ahead and play as hard as you can for a fan base and they'll take care of you. What
was it like? Because you got to be there in the early days of the NIL where it's new to everybody. Now there's a little more known about it and how to do it. And there's, folks they've brought in to make sure that they're run in a way that is compliance based. But I mean, it just starts. And how quickly when they go, okay, we now can have NIL, did you start getting calls going, hey man, can I give you some money to do stuff? Yeah. I mean, honestly, it was the Wild West when I first started. And it wasn't necessarily people just calling me up saying like, hey, let me give you money. Like me and my dad, he had a bunch of connections. And so we kind of went out and kind of created a model, just to be like, hey, let's go find 5 different industries, people that you're close with, and just try to get your head in the door and our foot in the door and try to meet these people. So whenever you're done playing, not only did you kind of make some money, in the NIL world, but then you have an opportunity now where your connections are tight with them whenever you're trying to find a job and whatnot. What was like the best guy making? You don't say who it is. I don't want you to throw any names out. But what was the best guy making? And was there a huge difference in like he's showing up in a Rolls Royce versus somebody who's not getting any NIL money at all? I mean, you're talking about like in the country, how much they're making? No, like around either that you knew or that was on the team. Yeah, I mean, there was guys that were probably making mid, high, 6 figures. But I mean, at the time, it was like there wasn't enough time to spend the money because it just was so new. There wasn't guys showing up in, like I said, a Rolls Royce. But I think there's been some car deals where guys are getting some nice cars and whatnot. There's always time to spend money. There's always time to spend
That's
that
the
money.
easy part.
Yeah.
I get online. I get on the apps and just spend it all there. I want to talk about.
They keep you pretty busy now in college.
I want to talk about social media for a second. If good game or bad game, obviously, same with me here. If it's good show or bad show, people like to say stuff and have opinions, and they don't know what the crap they're talking about most of the time. So how hard is it after a game that didn't go your way to look at social media, or did you have kind of boundaries that you put on yourself that you followed?
I mean, you can put the boundaries out there, but I think you're eventually going to try to check it out. Just human nature. But I mean, someone said like a saying was like, why would you listen to someone's criticism if you wouldn't take their advice? And I think that one to me was the biggest thing. Like, Hog Fan 95, their comments on my performance is not going to change anything because I wouldn't, go to them and say, how do you play linebacker? They're just, you kind of have to take it all with a grain of salt and kind of look at it through a different lens, if you would. But yeah, nowadays, the way that social media is, people are cruel. But as a player, you kind of just have to know who you are. And I think if you work hard enough, then it won't affect you. But if you're one of those guys that, kind of lives for social media, then I think it affects you more because you're kind of putting your foundation in the wrong rock, I guess.
I thought when I was Hog Fan 95, I was saying nice things to you. I didn't realize I was maybe not saying the nice. Oh man. So let's be very selfish then for a second and talk about Arkansas. What's happening, man?
I just think it's one of those seasons where there's not a ton of guys. Obviously, KJ is back, but there's just not a lot of older leadership. And I think when you have coaching change or whatever, you need guys that have been through the past, like the 2-10 seasons, to be like, hey, we've been here. We know how horrible it is. Like, you have to give that extra step so you don't get back there. We kind of had a couple winning seasons, so I think that it can, not get complacent, but in a way that you can almost forget how bad losing feels.
It sucks. I'm gonna tell you how it feels. I'm not even on the team. It sucks. I think about it all the time. I feel like I'm the one losing the games. I hate it. Like, it makes me sad. It's all I have, Bumper.
Well, that's not true, but
it feels like it's all I have, Bumper. It's like I just float or sink with the team, and this has been a really difficult year because we had extremely high expectations. At least I did, and I'm not Mr. Expectation. But I felt like this was our year. But whatever, man. If I start crying, is that embarrassing, Eddie? Right now, if I start,
Oh man, you be you.
just cut it out.
okay. Bumper, dude, congratulations on, such a great career, and I hope you catch on somewhere. And if you don't catch on anywhere, don't think you ain't getting a call from me and going, let's do something. Let's get it going.
Oh, you're gonna start a team?
No,
Hey,
not a
that's
team.
great.
No.
I mean, up.
No, we're gonna bring. No, I'm not playing ball. No. I think that's the wrong idea. We're gonna do some media. Some football.
Got it,
We gotta
got it.
get Bumper in here. He's done it all, man. Bumper was like the hero of the state for years, and just such a good influence on other teammates and such a leader. Bumper, we appreciate your talk today, buddy, and stay healthy. And hopefully, I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right, there he is. Bumper Pool, everybody. We have the Broken Promises bucket. It's a funny name. There it
Pretty good.
is.
Right.
And so do we know how much money's in there now?
Well, Reed still owes all of his money.
I need cash.
We got $30 in here right now.
Well, 10's mine.
20's mine.
Eddie, you haven't lost?
I've lost one. I owe $10. I really just don't have cash. I would pay it in a heartbeat.
You get cash.
I need
I'll go to the
What's
ATM
the
today.
deal with cash? So how much do you owe?
$10.
That's 40. Reed, how much do you owe?
30.
So there's $70 in it now. I was thinking about what we should do with the money after we do this Broken Promises week.
I'm interested to hear this.
Yeah, me too. I'm interesting too.
I'm interested to hear this.
So the Broken Promises bucket, I promised Arkansas would cover plus 11. They did. So I put no money in the Broken Promises bucket.
Good for you.
Kevin,
I had Bengals minus 2.5. Covered easily. Won by 14.
no Broken Promises?
No broken promises.
Keep your money. Eddie,
I had Kansas City minus 4.5. I mean, to me, that was a no-brainer. I promised it and it hit it.
boom. Reed,
I'm pretty sure I had LSU and Mizzou, and I had Mizzou minus 5.
Plus 5.5.
Plus 5. Yeah, plus 5, actually.
Yeah.
Plus 5.
do you even know what you're betting, or are you just pointing at something?
Yeah, plus 5 means that they have to.
No, I know, but I didn't know if you knew.
Yeah,
They have to what?
they have to score more than 5 points, or win by more than 5 points, or they have to win. They have to lose
No.
by less than 5 points, right? Or
they
or
can.
win.
They
At
can
the end of the
lose.
game, when the score is there, boom,
Yeah.
and you give them plus 5. If they win, then they win.
Oh, look at that. That makes it way more.
You were
easier.
looking good for a while
I know.
with Missouri.
So you lost.
Yeah, he lost.
So now he's got to go 40 in.
No, he's
No,
30.
that was my 30,
Yeah, he's
yeah.
30.
Got it. Have you lost every time?
No, I've won one.
So we'll do another promise coming up. Good job, guys.
Yeah.
The promise crew.
Yeah.
We
Kept our
promised.
promises. So here's what we're gonna do. All the money at the end of the year that's in the Broken Promises bucket before the Super Bowl. We'll pick a week. We'll determine a week, and then we'll each go around and do like a 3-person draft of the games we want to draft. Like the actual, like let's say it's Carolina plus 3. I'm taking Carolina plus 3. None of you guys can take it. And then whomever scores the best of the 3 picks that they drafted gets all the money.
So a game on top of a game? Because this already is a game.
Yeah, but how you give away the money? So, but the money is won by whomever has the best end that week. Like
At
let's
the
say,
very end,
yeah, that's like the best
that week.
3 or 4 games, and you'd be like, well, different people put different money in. Yeah, that's the person who sucked the most has the worst.
Right.
Could actually lose the most.
Okay.
So, like, if Reed were to win, if we played that right now and Reed won, it'd be okay. He invested the most.
It's all
But
got his
he'd
money.
win it all
We'd
back.
pick 3 games this week. We go around the room.
Okay.
We'd spin the bottle, we make out. And then
What?
wherever the bottle lands on, you go first. Eddie, you'd be like, okay, this week I'm going to go Alabama minus 18 versus Arkansas. So you get that. I can't take that. I can take Arkansas
Okay.
plus 18 versus Alabama, but I can't take your bet.
Okay.
And it can be college and pro.
Okay.
But we may do 5. Give us a little room for
Okay.
error there.
So it has to be, well, towards the end of the college season then if we want the full slate of games.
Yeah, we can probably do it like the first week of December,
Okay.
something like that. And the winner gets all the money.
Exciting.
And if there's a tie, well, we could do it even during bowl season. But if there's a tie, we will not split it. We'll pick another sudden death game.
Spin the bottle,
Yes.
make out.
Make out chicken.
Whoever's the best make outer.
I'll be the judge. You both make out with me, and I'll be the judge and tell you who made out the best.
Crap.
Quickly, give me your one storyline from over the sports weekend. Eddie, you go first.
I mean, what's sports weekend? Like what? Like, dude, honestly, the first time ever I told you guys I turned the Cowboys game off because I didn't finish it. Who wanted to watch the end of that game? And then Monday night, I really didn't have any appetite to watch that game at all. Yeah. It started, and I was still in the kitchen cooking, and my boys were like, "We're gonna watch the game." I'm like, I'm really not in the mood. But once I sat down to watch a second of it, I got back into it. So it's all temporary.
Are you excited about this week?
Chargers on Monday. I think we can handle that.
You know what the spread is that one?
I don't.
It's a week away. Okay. Kevin, give me yours.
Mine was, we talked about it a little bit, but USC and just how they were struggling with U of A a little bit. Now their schedule gets a little bit tougher, a lot more tougher the last 5-6 weeks of the season. So I want to see what they have. They play Notre Dame. Notre Dame comes off a bad loss against, not bad, but
It was a bad loss.
kind of a bad loss against
it's
Louisville.
Louisville.
That's 2 on the year. So they're going to be hungry at home in South Bend. So I want to see what USC does this week.
Reed.
I don't have one, but I do think it's funny that since Taylor Swift didn't go to the last Chiefs game, that everybody was freaking out.
What do you mean? That's a story, though.
Yeah.
But that's okay. You don't have to have a super sports about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
You just be you, buddy.
Okay, cool. I'll just be me.
So
So,
then-
basically, yeah, just the fact that she wasn't there. I saw a lot of people were saying that she wasn't supporting the team now, or that something was going on in between her.
There's a couple of storylines that were interesting to me with that. The mom was on the Today Show talking about kind of how
Kelsey's mom,
how she'd never met Taylor before the time in the box. And then they asked her how did all that happen? And she says, I can't really talk about that. And so that's crazy. So to me, that's even more of this is so fishy. Mom had never met Taylor.
Her movie's coming out.
Her movie's coming out. She doesn't really know what to talk about with all of this.
Kelsey's in all these commercials now.
Taylor's brilliant.
And also on top of that, Travis had a birthday last week and she wasn't there. People were there at the restaurant who saw him and a couple of buds celebrating his birthday. She wasn't there for his birthday. That's weird.
Maybe she was there for another part, though. There's a lot of things that people have to do. Can't get places to and fro.
If you're dating someone, you're going to make their birthday.
Maybe, unless you're Taylor and you're so busy. Listen, I also feel like there's probably something, but regardless, I enjoy it because they've either they're doing their thing and they are dating and people are creating all these conspiracy theories and that's hilarious to me, or they're not dating and everybody believes they are and that's hilarious to me.
All funny.
This system is just being played regardless. I love it.
Yeah.
With me, it just is. I don't even like sports anymore.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, dude. I'm not in the mood.
No.
It's crazy.
And I'm not. That's not even going to be my line. It's just that I hate it. I hate us having a bad season. It drives me crazy. Mine is actually the club that I'm a member of, the golf club that I joined 3 years or so ago. It's been shut down for over a year, and it opens back up in a week.
That's exciting.
Because they rebuilt the whole thing, and so I've been doing nothing. I've been just mooching golf off Gator, and I don't.
You can pay it back now.
And I don't get to play that. Well, they don't make me pay there. I just go play with them. They don't make me pay.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
It's
Even
crazy.
better, dude. That's
I know.
That's
Because
mooching
I'd be
golf.
I'd be like, hey, let me pay you. He's like, no, they don't make you pay because they think it's cool you come and play here. And I was like, I also think it's cool I come and play here. That we both win.
We agree.
Yes. So I'm excited about that because then I can play a little bit more. But now it's getting cold. But let's give it a run.
Yeah.
Let's give it a run. I'm excited about it, and that's it. Okay. So as we conclude today's show, thanks to Bumper Pool for coming on. Thank you all. We had a really bad overall sports week for all of us. Texas lost, and that's on Mike.
Yeah, I felt rage for the first time, towards another fan base.
Exactly.
Because I watched it with a bunch of Oklahoma fans.
There
and
you
it was
go.
just I just feel it in my soul.
Patriots lost, and that's on you, Kevin.
I know.
Cowboys lost, that's on you, Eddie.
That was brutal, man.
Arkansas lost again, that's on me. And Taylor Swift didn't show up, and that's on Reed.
Be patient, Reed.
You guys follow us at 25 Whistles. Thanks for the show. Go check out our episode of Too Much Access with Kansas State. And Eddie, if you want to blow us, we'll get out of here.
I got you, man.
All right. All right, we'll see you guys.